Hey everybody, greetings. I'm GriffinGamingRPG, and welcome back. Today I hope everybody's having a great Tuesday. For those of you who follow it, today is Halloween, All Hallows Eve. For some folks, the day of Vara celebration pinnacle today, I guess. But I hope everybody is doing well. Hope you're having a good Tuesday. Thank you guys for being here today, as always. Who's that? Jade. Hey, Jade. How the heck are you? Yeah, I know. I was going to talk about that. Yeah. Pyro. Yeah, everybody's anticipating. I didn't even check my email. For those of you who don't know, and I'm sure everyone who watches this channel probably does, there's an announcement today of people who will get some access to test out Pyro. And I guess I didn't really think about it because I really, to a certain degree, don't care. Which is, I know, it sounds so weird. They've told people that people who get access will probably be very rough, kind of on Evocati level rough of the game being tested. So please keep that in mind if you do get in. Hey, what's up, Zombie Pig? New Souls, what's going on? Pops. Please keep that in mind if you do gain access to going into the experimental server. They've given plenty of fair warning that this is going to be a journey, a slightly rough ride as they begin to prepare the servers to be able to take on the massive numbers. As you guys know, at CitizenCon, they introduced a test of Pyro that was on a server. There were 160 computers. Folks were able to log in, and performance was pretty good for everybody. Now, mind you, it was on a local server. We get that and everything. But the fact that as far as bugs went, there wasn't a lot of that as an issue. There were some people who got kicked out prematurely. Maybe they played 15 or 20 minutes and then they had a crash. But for the most part, people were given up to 40 minutes to play in Pyro, and they had a good time. My understanding is that people felt it was good. All of the system wasn't there. I think there were only 3 planets that were in at the time. And then, of course, this past weekend, Evocati got their opportunity once again to expand it to even more people beyond 160, but even more people in Evocati who also did testing in the server as well. And they had a lot more time. They had 6 hours to be in the server, and I'm sure they ran across a lot of things, but it also added a little bit more stress to the game. Now they're going to start allowing the public to come in, and not the public, but other backers, which brings it up even more. So everything is about scaling. It's one thing to do something on a single server or on a single computer, a single client. But then once you start adding more people, adding more variables, of course, more bugs come out. Performance is an issue, a whole lot of other things. So please keep in mind that is the state. So if you are picked for the first wave of folks, let's just say, brace yourself, be ready, be ready to go in and help. That's the big thing. Be careful about being ready to go in and play. Play is the icing on the cake. The real ingredients and the real baking in the cake making is going in and finding the bugs and getting the game into a good place where everybody will be able to come in and enjoy it. So please, please, please keep that in mind if you're selected. Let me see. I'm not even sure. Did they send out mail yet? Does anybody know? Did they send out mail today? Let's see. Did they send out mail? Did they send out mail? I don't know if they sent out mail. And don't forget to check all of your folders, like your promotions folders and everything, because sometimes my CIG stuff goes in there. It doesn't go into my primary when I use Google's mail. Anyway, that's that. Okay, so today, no mail yet. Thank you, Jay. Yep, no mail yet. Captain Jones, what's up? What's up? What's up? Socially confused. What's going on? Yeah, we'll see when that mail goes out. I think, the schedule did come out yesterday on the hours. What's up, FC? So another 90 minutes or so, ain't it? Okay, I didn't know they announced the time. So that's good to know. Okay, so maybe by the time I get through with the show, mail will be out and people will know what they're going to get to do. Alrighty, so let's jump into this a little bit. Let's see. Admiral sending me some information. I just sent out a post that John Crew put out this morning saying that people maybe misunderstood what was said during the presentation during Talking Ships, where they talked about ships that would be released this year and next year. And in the post, what he put down was, I've gone back and watched the CitizenCon recording. We have not gone back, but seeing quite a few people quoting me saying that there'll be 12 ships by the end of the year based on the big backlog. There isn't 12 more coming by the end of the year. Now, I will say this. When we looked at that sheet, remember he said the little boxes, he said, these are the ships that are backlog. These are the ones we're working on. This is what we're having in the year. I didn't hear him say that there would be 12 more ships. I definitely didn't say that. In fact, I said that on the show last week. What I heard was, or what I thought I saw in counting, was that there was at least another 4 to 6 ships that I thought maybe they were going to do by the end of the year. And I said, that seems kind of weird for them to put that many ships out in a quarter. So I'm not surprised that there was a correction here. But Admiral sent me a list just now of the ships that have come out this year. And he says there were 2 Furies, a Storm. Okay, now mind you, Admiral, only 1 Spirit is out, so that could be one of the other ones. Then he says there are 2 Spirits, the F8C, the Hull C, 2 Cutters. We only have 1, but let's say there's 2 Cutters coming out. The Lynx, the Scorpius, SRV, and STV. That's more than 12. That's more than 12. That's interesting. We'll have to see. We will see. But John says there isn't 12 more coming out by the end of the year. It was ships being introduced this year, i.e. since January. So even the count that we have here is off. 2 Furies. Actually, there were 3 Furies. Right? There were 3 Furies plus the LX. So there you go. That's 3 right there. Three Furies. We know 2 Spirits are coming out this year. The F8, the Hull C. There's 2 Cutters coming out this year. The Lynx, Scorpius, SRV. That's more than 12. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe you guys help me with the math there. The Storm. Yeah, the Storm is in there too. He has the Storm in there. Yeah, so that's more than 12. So I don't know. I guess we'll find out when, yeah, the Storm he mentioned. Yeah, because see, there were some ships he said himself when he was counting. I haven't watched that episode. I remember watching the screen when I saw the little dots, and it got my attention because I remember seeing the title of that was about backlog, you know. So we'll see, because I thought he named ships that were already out, and then he started naming other ships. But you guys watched the show already. I haven't watched it. I'll watch it later this week or next week. I don't know. And I'll find out. It's not that big of a deal to me. There's tons of ships that came out this year. You know, it's funny because sometimes the community is like, stop putting out ships. And then there's other times where the community's like, where are the ships? So I don't know. I really don't know which way to swing on that one. But anyway, we'll find out. All right. So anyway, I hope you guys have been enjoying stuff. I hope you guys have had a chance to digest some of the other videos. You know, they finally started putting out the videos every day or two. They'll put out a new video from the convention, and hopefully it gives you an opportunity to go back over it and take a look at it and kind of redigest some stuff. I just went with Soul Citizens on Sunday, and we went over the very first one on the Star Engine, and I had watched it the day before to prep for the show. And then I watched it the second day, and I still saw things and heard things that I just didn't catch the first time around. So there's plenty of stuff. Yeah, see the Zeus? That's another one. Thank you, Prisoner. See, there's more than 12, guys. Like I said, I thought there was another 2, 4 to 5 or 6 that they were introducing. But we'll see. Because I think they added some ships in there that they didn't count. But I could be wrong. But yeah, you just mentioned the Zeus. There's 3 of those. Yeah, so if you add up all that plus the ships that Admiral did, let me go back one more time, just for the sake of science and math. Help me out here, guys. Count on your fingers with me. All right. 3 Furies, the Storm, 2 Spirits, the F8, the Hull C, 2 Cutters, that's 10, the Lynx, the Scorpius, the SRV, the STV, and then the Zeus. There's 3 of those. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's 18 freaking ships, y'all. Nah, they did. The Polaris is already announced. That's not coming out this year. That's not coming out this year, Victoria. We're just naming ships that have come out. Well, okay, you know what? Take that back. I got to suck some away. Suntucky. Yep. Okay, God, we got to recount. Okay, forget what they announced as concept, because some of these are concepts, so screw that. Let's do it one more time, guys. There are 3 Furies in the game. The Storm is coming. 2 Spirits are coming. The F8 is coming. The Hull C is coming. 1 Cutter is in. The Lynx is in. It's 10. The Scorpius is in. The SRV is coming this year. The STV is coming this year. It's out already. All right, so that's 13, right? Okay, those are the ones that are coming next year, though. The X1 is next year, guys. Citizen Ninja got it there. Oh, yeah, I forgot about the A1. Oh, my God. The A1 is out. Okay, so in other words, forget this whole argument about freaking 12 ships. There's more than 12 ships that have come out this year that are already out. We won't talk about stuff that they announced. But ships that have come out this year, there are more than 12, which is a lot of stuff. Yeah, I know, Baron. Read the wallet. Yeah, your wallet. Exactly. Yeah, so I don't know. That's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff. Yeah, the new PTV too. Jeez, oh Pete. All right, so nobody can complain about the ships, regardless to whether their slide was goofy or whether John Crew misspoke or whether we misread or whether we misinterpreted. There have been plenty of ships that have come out this year. That's the deal, okay? And there are plenty more to come within the next year. So, yeah, we're happy. That's what I'm going to say is we're happy. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into it. On Tuesday, I did a watch review of the opening that CIG did on Star Engine, and we kind of broke that down and talked about it. And so today we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to do the breakdown on the ending presentation, which was Squadron 42. We're going to do a breakdown and talk about it. So as always, I always welcome you guys to come into the chat with me. Please do that because it helps me and I don't have to talk the whole time. But hopefully you guys will be able to join me here in chat with this as you see things and as I see things. So let's get ready to jump into it. Who is that? Socially confused Kentucky. Okay, got that. Okay, Art Slipe. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Thank you so much for that follow. Appreciate that. Really do. Glad you're here with us. All right, gang, you guys ready? Let's hit it. Let's move on beyond my gabbing. It's supposed to be. Yeah, I'm 15 minutes in, so I need to get talking. All right, here we go. Let's turn this on. Okay, I'm going to be doing a little bit of comparison at the beginning of this, just to talk about the tech differences, and then we'll let it flow. Oh, okay, Eminence.
Go for 6.
Gotcha.
Getting a faint contact on bearing 287. You picking that up?
Yeah, got it. Scanning now. We're clear. Commercial vessel out of Vega 3. Provided that civilian traffic is restricted under lockdown.
Copy that.
RJ.
Contact on bearing 287. You picking that?
I'm sorry. Thanks, Pops. Jay, what would we call that? Drop that in chat for me. Is that a nebula behind them? Because at first, when I first saw this, I thought it was clouds and there was stars in the background. Then I realized they were in space. And I also see some type of electrical activity going on in the background. Maybe you can tell me what the heck that is. Ignorant Bombard. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. But I'm curious if that would be considered a nebula. Those clouds, the gas clouds back there.
Yeah, got it.
Vegas.
Scanning now.
If you guys remember the original, some type of gaseous anomaly. That's what I'm just kind of wondering.
Commercial vessel out of Vega 3. Provided that civilian traffic.
It's just kind of patchy, right? Like more like gas clouds. Yeah.
Copy that.
But look at the stars. Also the flashing in the background.
Commercial vessel
as if there's some type of
provided in the civilian traffic.
electrical thing going on back there. There's also a moon
Copy that.
off to the left there. Look right where the star is. If you keep looking, you'll see another moon or
Very
planet
clear.
pop
Commercial
up.
vessel out of
See it right there?
Base 3, provided in the civilian traffic is restricted under lockdown.
This has expanded so much
Copy
more
that.
than the original vertical slice we saw. At just the pace, you did ask if those were thrusters. They are.
We're clear. Commercial vessel out of Vegas 3, provided in the civilian traffic is restricted.
Okay, I'm not going to stop it again. You all look right
that.
behind the pilot. See the thrusters come up here on the F7A? Very cool. They come up animated now and turn. I think that's different. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's very cool.
Come back, Gary.
Redirect to sector 7 Bravo Echo for immediate tasking.
Copy that. On our way.
Love that. Definitely a new opening versus the original trailer that we saw for the vertical slice. They enhanced it. It's beautiful. Here we go with the bagpipes. Okay, let's stop here. A lot to take in. A lot to take in here, gang. There's a guy, I can't think of the guy's name last night, but we were watching Star Jump Grim, and I know Montoya did it yesterday. There's a guy who did a breakdown on this scene, talking about ships that we have not seen before. And there are some really cool ones in here, but there are some ships in here that we are familiar with. In particular, there's a Javelin over here, right above where it says UEE. I know you guys can't see my mouse, or can you? Maybe you can. Yeah, that's a Javelin. Hammerhead right above that, Hammerhead up here. Right here, dead center, we've got the Bengal carrier. But then we've seen that there's a variant that shows up in a couple other videos that have done of the Bengal fleet. Over here on the right, these two here have a different conning tower, if you guys see it. In fact, they have this one here has two large guns. The one on the right on the top of it. That's something we haven't seen before. Also up above it, there's another one, but that one doesn't seem to have the guns on it. So this might be the Bengal carrier or Bengal carrier line of variants of Bengals, which is pretty cool if that's the case. If there are 3 different Bengals, that's pretty serious. There's another Javelin down here. It has 3 turrets. Oh yeah, one on the back. Okay, thanks, Admiral. Yeah, you're right. There is another one back here. Yeah, so this is pretty awesome. We've got an Idris down here, right? I got to let it flow a little bit more to see what else. At first, I thought this was the Pegasus over here on the left, but I really can't tell. Another Javelin up here at the top, Hammerhead up here. Polarises are here as well. Let's let it flow a little more and see if we can detect some more. I thought I saw Retaliator in here too. What is that? I don't know what the heck that is. Does anybody know what that is? Hang on a second. Clicking on all the wrong buttons. Get over there. 2 mystery ships. Yeah, that were in the 9-minute link. Okay, let's see. There's the Idris right there in the foreground. I can't tell what this is here. Oh, that's a Hammerhead. Okay. Another Hammerhead. A lot of Hammerheads protecting the fleet. Okay, there's a Retaliator right there. Another Idris. Retaliator down here. Javelin. Okay. Okay, very cool. Okay, is this a Polaris over here in the corner left? That's the one I couldn't figure out what that is. That's a one big freaking fleet, though, I can tell you that. Yeah, I know. I could do the speed. I guess I should do that, right? Where is it at? Speed. Where's it at? Quality, normal. Let's go to 50. Let's go to 50% speed. I don't want to go. Okay, yeah, there's nothing new to see here. We'll keep it rolling because we'll be all year doing this, breaking down, analyzing this. But thanks, Admiral. You guys remember on the very first vertical slice, it was the same type of opening, except for now we see it's way more detailed. Looks much better. It's funny. Every time we go back and look at these things, just like we went back and look at the Moral Tour looks like crap now. We thought it was the greatest thing next to sliced bread when it came out. And I'm sure if we compared this to the vertical, it's not too bad from the vertical slice, actually. It's just you could tell it's polished. It's much cleaner and polished here. The other thing that you guys also probably have noted as well, Oversized Rory, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for that follow. Keep in mind, there's always the thing that I really like that Chris does is and I always want to see how he does it, is how he merges cinematics with gameplay. Especially when there's this thing of no loading screens, there's got to be this transition that's always very smooth. And those of you who've been around a long time, you'll remember that when you used to get in your ships, you'd ask to get in your ship and you could be off somewhere crazy and you jump over. It wasn't a smooth transition. Now, when you get in your ship, even if you're standing a couple feet away from it, there's a smooth transition to getting in your ship. You take a couple steps, or if you're facing the wrong way, your body turns and then the animation kicks in, the cinematic kicks in. And so I'm always amazed at the fact that they're able to smooth that out. At first, we look horrible. Remember when you used to third person watch somebody from outside your ship and you'd watch them run to your ship and it'd be like this, and now you watch them and you see this smooth running, as they optimize it and get things together more graphically. It's always cool to watch how they do that. And I'm curious to see whether this is the way it's going to open up. Very similar and transition into your character, which would be very, very cool, right? And I know they're going to probably figure out a way to make that happen between those cinematic conversations that have to happen, because we've seen that in the past in the vertical slice. But then it transitions to you, and hopefully that transition is very smooth and believable. This is a big ship, man. For those of you who own Javelins, you have my sympathy. That's all I'm going to say about that. You have my sympathy.
I know I just wrote you, but a couple of hours ago, proximity sensors on the other
side of the jump got twigged. Word is it might be that clan we've been battling with. I guess that last fight didn't scare them
off quite like we all hoped it would. Honestly, we've been out here so long, I don't know what to
pull for anymore. I just wanted to let you know.
I'll write as soon as I can. Stay safe. Your loving son.
Enter Gillian Anderson.
Never gets old, does it?
Sir.
Eddies. I used to do the same thing when I was first coming up. Post up to the flight deck whenever I could to watch the launches.
Tell you something funny. You guys remember about a year ago, there was a meme going on about moist eyeballs. And people just went crazy over moist eyeballs, right? And there are other games that have come out, and one of the biggest complaints people make is the eyes are dead. They look like they're dead. I won't say which games we're talking about, but you have never heard that in Star Citizen. So thank God for moist eyeballs. That's all I'm going to say, all right? CIG knows what they're doing, I think, most of the time, if not all the time.
Have you seen the F-8s up close?
No, sir.
That thing's a beast. Nimble, too.
12 maneuvering thrusters and 3 mains. It sure sounds like it. Sir.
Captain McLaren, to the bridge. Captain McLaren, to the bridge.
I saw you apply to the Flight Academy again.
Yes, sir.
Keep your head up. Took me a couple times before I got in.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I'm going to stop muting, y'all. I know. I'm sorry. I was eating candy and I didn't want you guys hear me chewing on a Kit Kat. All right, so I won't do that anymore. I was saying that we could see how this could be just a complete cinematic. It comes into the scene. It's your character there. You get to sit there and watch and see the story unfold. I'm not saying this is the way the game's going to open up, but I'm just saying you can see how these type of cinematics can be incorporated and it still feels like you're a part of it. You know, maybe they'll give you an option of how to respond to her versus this thing where it's all kind of scripted. We'll have to see, right? But again, I love this. And by the way, shout outs to both Pedro and Jeff Zanelli for soundtrack. Soundtrack for the whole weekend was just amazing. The opening, it was amazing. During this, it was amazing. They don't get enough credit. It's easy to forget about them. They're like the John Williams of Star Citizen. So shout out to them for the amazing scoring that they do. Now, this was hilarious. Montoya put a great post out about this because I fell for it too. When they did this with the lettering, everybody went, yeah, Terra, Earth, Earth, Earth. Not Terra, Earth, Earth, Earth. And then we found out, no, it's actually real video, just drone footage in Manchester. It was so funny. Bagel 1. Thanks, Victoria.
Welcome to Cloud Imperium Games
Thanks for
Manchester
looking it up.
Studio. I'm Chris Roberts, and I'm pleased to announce we have just passed the major milestone. Squadron 42 is now feature complete and has entered its polish.
Fastcart, you says it in the corner. Do you think gamers read? Really? Do you really think we read that? We just saw UEE Earth and went crazy. That's as far as we needed to read. We didn't have to read any further than that.
Phase. To celebrate this milestone, we've gathered some of our core leadership together to share what this means.
New Squadron 42 shirt. Check out the marketing, guys. Everybody's going to want one. That's the new one. They're getting away from that, it's not an army green, but it's a different, darker green. And it looks like they're changing it up a little bit. There's the new studio, which is nice in Manchester. If you guys aren't going to I'm trying to go to Manchester next year. It's on my list. Regardless of whether Squadron was coming out, I'm really going to try to go to Manchester next year.
As Chris says, we've moved...
Ooh, was that a model? Look at that. What's that a model of? Is that a javelin? That's a model in somebody's
As Chris
office.
says, we've moved into the polish phase of Squadron 42, which means extra emphasis on ensuring things feel fun.
Pretty big.
This
All right, let's go back. Something to see there. There is something to see there.
on ensuring things feel fun.
Richard Tyre. All right, here we go. All right. On the left, a Starfarer. On the right, looks like there's an area where it goes down below with the elevator. Look right there. There's the spider. What's that thing? The spider mining thing right there. Really big right there. There's a consolidated Outland Mustang right here. Yeah, the mining tick. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that thing. That's for mining. Those of you into mining, that's not automated. That's something that you take out to go mine in, just so you'll know.
This means focusing on...
Okay, there's another one right there. Okay.
small and large elements of the game, such as dialing in combat encounters, but also looking at the feel of how you control your character or vehicle and making sure it's immersive as possible. We've paid extra attention to how your character reacts when in their ship, so that you feel like an actual pilot, whether that's firing your weapons, taking hits, or punching the afterburners to get to cover. Ship AI has also seen huge improvements, with closer engagement distances and more varied behaviors. And with our new precision targeting mode, the action has never been as close.
Okay, you guys tell me, what is this on the right? Anybody can tell what that is?
And more varied behaviors. And with our new precision targeting mode,
what the heck is that? All right, all you astrophysicists in the room, what the frick is that? Anybody got any idea? It's some form of energy, but I don't know what the heck that is. Doomsday Machine, yeah, there you go, from Star Trek. Yeah, it's mining, but what is it? It looks liquidy, fiery. I can't tell what the heck
action
that is.
Has never been.
They show it twice, actually. Let me go back a little bit.
Extra attention to how your
This is a mining rig that we're looking at.
character reacts when in the ship,
pretty big,
so that you feel like an actual pilot. Whether that's firing your weapons, taking.
Now this here, I don't know if this is a part of Shubin Mining's mining rig. But we were watching Grim last night again, and we also saw it looks like another consolidated Outland big ship. It looked like it was like a big cargo hauling thing, but we couldn't tell exactly what it was.
Or punching the afterburners to get to
show it to you later, but this is big.
Ship AI has also seen huge improvements, with closer engagement distances and more varied behaviors. And with our new precision targeting mode.
See? What is that? Mining lasers. I mean, it looks like it is boring a hole into this. That is what it looks like. I see the ridges going down. You know, you go down in layers. It looks like one big asteroid that they're burrowing into, but that's a huge freaking energy thing going on there to do that. That's pretty crazy. Okay.
The action has never been as close. With the aim now on polish, we've organized the project into.
Okay, this was unexpected. First of all, it's great to see the animals. Those aren't birds. I don't know what the heck they are, but they look scary. But they're big. And the thing with introducing these rivers and water, which is really, really cool. A borehole. Yeah. Yeah, that's true, Jade. Now that you mention it, yeah. You're right. Beneath those cliffs, yeah, in the PU. Okay, here we go.
Self-sufficient strike teams, so we can focus on individual areas to deliver the best experience.
This was cool. Call of Duty feel right here, right?
Get out of sight. The cutlass is going to spot you.
So he tells them to get out of sight.
This allows us to bring all disciplines together with a unified vision of enhancing the gameplay by seamlessly blending it with polished visuals.
All right, that looks like is that the same typical Cuddy? I guess it is.
Final cinematic performances and our ever-improving technology.
There's a dam up there.
You didn't see the boat, kid. Good to keep going.
We're also dialing in gameplay features, such as the ship flight model, for both atmosphere and space, which covers master modes, control surfaces, and our gold standard HUD and MFDs. Our interaction system for both the world and your character, which covers master modes, control surfaces, allows us to bring all disciplines together with a unified vision of enhancing the gameplay by seamlessly blending it with polished visuals, final cinematic performances, and our ever-improving technology.
Let's bring us on patrol.
Didn't see the boat, kid. Good to keep going.
We're also dialing in gameplay features, such as the ship flight model, for both atmosphere and space, which covers master modes, control surfaces, and our gold standard.
What do you guys think all these markers are that are flashing? See all these markers, these triangular markings? If you notice, they're all on the radar screen too. Are those other ships that he's dodging? Also, you hear the breathing is moving like crazy. Look at the new HUD here in the Gladius. You've got, which is really nice here, the percentages here, your usage, your output. It's great, much more detail in here numerically for your power management, which is cool. It's very nice. Drones, maybe? Yeah, prisoner, maybe that's it.
HUD and MFDs. Our interaction system for both the
This was cool. They've done some more work here on the UI.
world and your character have also seen additional improvements, allowing us to hone and craft environmental puzzles unique to each location, while allowing us to tell the story of the world around you.
How do you guys like that? I actually like this idea of environmental puzzles. I know some people may not like that type of stuff, but I love this thing of being able to look around and figuring out how the heck to do stuff. Hey, Jad, long time no see. How you been? Good to see you. Hope you're doing all right.
Hey, Griff.
Oh, hey, Admiral. Yeah, don't forget, guys, you guys can come in and talk to me like Admiral just did. I forgot to mention that again. Yeah, Admiral, what you got?
No, I just wanted to say, so like that part when you were asking what are all these things are on the screen, I think those are all missile icons, and his breathing is making me...
He's trying to get away from him?
Think akin
HUD
to
and MFDs.
the new Top Gun, when he's trying to
get away,
go through the valley as low as possible.
Yeah.
And
it does say inbound. You know what? You're right, Admiral, because it says here inbound missiles. So he might have hit, they talked about adding these anti-aircraft missiles in. I mean, which, we know they're going to do. But I just thought about that with the respiration, the fact that he almost whited out. He's doing some evasive maneuvering. The scanner is showing him here, and there is a warning here for inbound missiles. You're probably 100% right. I didn't catch it.
He's just flying so low, I think.
Yeah, he's trying to dodge him.
Top Gun. So I think it's
our interaction system for both the world and your character have also seen additional improvements.
Now, this is the military version of the multi-tool. They said there was a military one and then a civilian one. It does have a different design to it, which is pretty nice.
Allowing us to hone and craft...
Feel free to stick around, Admiral, if you want. Yeah.
...environmental puzzles unique to each location, while allowing us to tell the story of the world around you.
Fill barrel, drain barrel, detach barrel.
The military multi-tool is an essential piece of equipment for every pilot that integrates all attachments into a single handheld device and allows us to create really interesting challenges.
So all of the attachments are built into this versus the civilian one. We have to get the different attachments, which makes sense, right? Because you don't have time in this game to be running around trying to find all the parts. But in the other one, it makes it where it becomes a part of the economy and you having to buy them, which is cool. I have no problem with that. Hey, Abdi, going crazy, updating Pyro entries into the Galactopedia right now. Oh, okay, that's cool. All right.
Including physics-based puzzles using our updated rope tech.
I love this.
Unidentified vessels. This is the UE.
Hey, look at the graphics down there, how much better that looks with Mark Hamill, the old man down there. It definitely enhanced that. I also love the fact that they've done a better holographic on the left side when you're looking at damage on ships or your ships. So that's pretty nice. That's the self-status one.
Power down.
Some of you guys may not know. Oh, boy, what happened? Jeez, oh, Pete. Some of you guys may not know or remember.
Using our
back in the day,
unidentified vessel.
The scanner on our ships looked just like this. We used to have this scanner that had a ground grid like this, and it had a marker, so when you landed, it would tell you where you were landing. And they told us they were going to bring this back, but it is in here. But anyway, that's just something to note that they are reintroducing into the game. I'm not completely sure what all of this is. This looks like navigation, quantum, velocity. I'm not sure what this gauge is here. This one is incremental going up 100%, no decoy. So these are your countermeasures. Okay.
This is the UEE Navy. Power down your ship.
So here they tell you that you're in gimbal mode, what your active flight group is with your guns, you're fixed. I love this. This is really nice. They give you the amount of rounds you got available. Very cool. Give you the mission over here to rescue the Starfarer on the right. All right.
Stand by for processing.
Yeah, some of them had the 3D.
Fuck off the coil's ass.
Dafo Arakawa.
Our scanning, targeting, and marker system has also seen an overhaul, allowing us to highlight only the essential information that you need, such as key objectives, mission targets, and high-level scan.
Do you guys like the cleaner HUD? Does this HUD better? What do you guys think when you look at that? Does that give you the information that you like to see in a way that's reasonable and not obtrusive to what you're trying to do? I think it's going to take a little bit to get used to, but I do think I like this a little bit better. Just got to look a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I think if you
Hey, Pops.
customize, I think if you if we could have customizations on exactly what we want, to a certain extent, and color would even step this up.
Yeah, color's definitely a factor. We have a lot of people in the community that are challenged when it comes to color blindness and whether they can see certain colors. Blue may not be good for them, reds, certain colors like that. So yeah, being able to do that. And CIG has said that they are going to give us that option to do it in game. We just have been waiting on it forever. But they did say that they are going to do that. But I agree. Most of this information that they give you here is vital information though. Range on your target, decoys, how many you have, SCM speed, whether you're in SCM or not, for your master mode, what your current velocity is. To me, it's just cleaner. Like I said, I think it's going to take more of a just getting used to. But I do like the fact that when you're trying to look at your target, you don't have all that other data that's normally in this area that sometimes blocks you, you know?
Yeah, I think it's a lot cleaner. I actually like the new weapons information on the top left. You'll see he has like 6,200 rounds. You can also see the wing weapons charging at like 21% or whatever, wherever they're at.
Yep.
So it's a much cleaner look, and it's because it's just been in the past few years, at least in the PU, it's just been getting like more crowded,
cluttered,
and so I'm glad they're going this way.
Yep.
Information while keeping your overall view as clean as possible.
That skank! Take him off me! No!
Tactical FPS combat and stealth, which has seen a suite of
Now, this is definitely huge here when you're looting someone. Weapons, loadout, magazines. So I guess this up here is who you're looting, and this is you down here.
improvements, from improved looting, weapon feel and balance, realistic scopes, and smooth.
That is freaking nice. Way faster interface with moving things from the body to you.
FPS combat and stealth, which has seen a suite of improvements, from improved looting, weapon feel and balance, realistic scopes, and smoother locomotion, alongside our new and improved FPS radar and scanner that provides you an overview of the battlefield, but at the cost of ramping up your own emissions.
Now, some people, I saw some comments on this that some people felt that there was bullet sponging going on here. I'm not so sure that's the case because we don't know what armor is supposed to be able to sustain and withstand from weapons hits, whether ballistic or energy. So I'm not of the feeling that one hit should take somebody down unless it's, I don't know what would be. I mean, in a headshot, maybe a forward headshot, and maybe with a certain caliber. But if I pistol shot you in the back of the head of your helmet, should that penetrate and take you out? I mean, what do you guys think?
No, I don't think a pistol. Maybe somebody hit you with a sniper rifle. I think that should definitely take you because some type of armor piercing. should take you out immediately. But a pistol, maybe 3 or 4.
How do you guys feel about impact? Maybe if like let's say I'm using a whether ballistic or energy, and I'm going to use this is a scale I'm making up, y'all. So please don't go crazy about this. Let's say if you're wearing light armor, heavy armor, medium armor, right? Light armor, if I hit you in the chest with a sniper rifle, you're gone. Medium armor, I hit you with a sniper rifle. It penetrates, but it doesn't kill you. If you're wearing heavy armor, maybe it takes 2 sniper bullets to hit you and penetrate. What if it, instead of it being a situation of maybe you're injured or killed, but there's also impact? In other words, you're knocked backwards or knocked sideways. I mean, we do kind of have that now. If you get hit, you do get flinched a little bit. But what do you think about more of a physical response happening in the game versus immediately, like when you see people get hit and you see their bodies wobble like that, you know what I mean? What do you think of if that becomes also something more concussive?
I'll jump into that. Go ahead, Pops, you first.
Oh no, I'm just saying most definitely. I don't know, Griff, do you know of a game that does that?
Not to that degree. They do it. When you get hit in this game, you do get impact a bit. I'm just saying, people were talking about bullet sponging, and you don't. Well, that was one of the problems with Odyssey. You really don't want where you're getting hit with bullets. You're just standing there taking them, and there's nothing happening to you physically. Yeah, Jade, I agree. Yeah, energy weapons. If you're up close, the impact should be there, but the further distance you're out, they should start to lose their punch. Absolutely. Because that's the trade-off.
When you look at, let's just talk about the helmet, right?
Yeah.
If I shoot you at the back of the head with a 50 cal pistol,
right?
Say this armor is amazing. I don't know how it might not penetrate, but the shock should, I would think,
definitely hit you.
Maybe give you a concussion.
Yeah, some type of injury, but it didn't take you out completely. And depending on the armor.
You also have to look at armor as a lot of armor is I kind of think of, oh god, it was Batman. Remember, it couldn't withstand direct hits, but it was good against glancing shots and stuff like that. So I think a lot of the armor is if someone's looking at standing at attention, and you shoot him with an AR-15, which usually has a smaller bullet, which is a 5.56, then that would probably penetrate. But if you turn to the side, maybe it wouldn't be as good with that. If they're going to be doing stuff like that, that would be very interesting to see. And to see how this armor system's going to work, because they haven't really implemented a lot of the stuff for armor yet, I don't think.
No, they haven't. In fact, what will also be a factor is that your armor takes damage, right? So, we go down in the bunker and we survive it, but my helmet is now at 23%. My chest is at, 40%. My legs are at 70%, right? And I need to check that, because the next time I go into a bunker, that one shot may penetrate now. You know what I mean? We're not at 100% anymore. So you may be able to one-shot me if my armor is in bad condition, versus if it's 100% across the board, I can take a little bit more punishment. I'm not against one-shots, you guys. I'm just trying to create variables that have to do with economy, repair, crafting. When do I need to buy new armor versus when is it I can repair it? They showed us this when I was watching the Fix It show yesterday. And they were talking about how components can wear down. And as long as you're within a certain parameter, you can still repair them. But if you hit 0, that stuff's no good anymore. And so I'm hoping that armor, it's just like weapons, they talked about wear. There comes a point where you just got to buy a new rifle. It may be your favorite rifle, but you've repaired it so many times. And maybe after the 3rd or 4th time, repair is, instead of repairing to 100% because this happened in Star Wars Galaxies. When you would get repairs, you could repair the weapon, but instead of being at 100%, you could only repair it to 90% the next time. That was the most you could get out of it. And then the next time it got damaged bad, it only went to 80%. And so eventually it comes to a point where that rifle's at 20% and that's it. And you got to go buy a new one. That drives economy. That drives a reason for me to make more money. Not because I have this weapon that is pristine all the time when I'm playing with it. You know what I mean?
I just want to touch, I don't think that an armor should be this is at 40%. And it's just graded that okay, this says it reduces it by 40%. You can go way back and look at Fallout 4, and they have armor for your shoulders, for your legs, for your chest, and those are those get damaged individually.
Right.
So I feel like they should, like, yeah, like if I keep getting shot in my right shoulder, well, my somehow my left leg shouldn't have damaged armor.
No, absolutely. No, absolutely. I agree with you. I think it should be like where you take the damage at. You know what I'm saying? But right now, I've only broke it down that way because that's how our armor is broken down into head.
Yeah, you're doing
and
like a more
arms.
average. I get
right.
that. Yeah.
But yeah, no, absolutely right. And again, you know, the situation is, you know, I'm trying to look at it as, you know, one of the things I have a huge fear with this game or with any game is if you don't have something that makes people need to go get more money, the game will get boring really quick because you'll get people who have so much money that they don't care anymore. And it's not a big deal to go buy things or replace things. It should always be where there's this balance between feeling like you're making progress. You're not poor in the game, right? You're making progress, but there's a need to continue because the game is driving you to say, you need to have some more money just to exist in this world. You know, and it's not always about because you want to do this big mission, but just to exist in the world, like they're introducing, we already know this, taxes are going to be in the game. Paying for protection is going to be in the game. Insurance for cargo. Those are the things that will always be there that if you want to do something, you always have to give into consideration of, you know, where you are financially in the game, and also gives you a reason to go out and do things in the game. And so I'm just kind of hoping that things like this with wear on weapons and armor are a way to give a reason for why people may feel like you're bullet sponging, because I don't think it's bullet sponging personally, but you know, some people want to be able to hit you once and you go down. And I kind of get that, but I think that if you're this advanced in the future, getting one shot should not be such an easy thing. But that's just me. Captain Jones, thank you for that gift sub to Pops in Space. Pops, you got a gift sub.
Oh,
there you
thank
go.
you.
There you
Okay.
go. All right, let's keep it rolling, y'all.
We've also seen the introduction of our Maelstrom-powered destructible environment, which adds a layer of dynamism to the experience alongside our improved AI that can now have hundreds of combinations of traits that allow us to create unique and challenging combat encounters that really push your tactical awareness and skill.
See, that was a good amount of hits. I didn't feel like that was bullet sponging. Especially using the P8. That was nice. Even though the grenade didn't go off. That's interesting. That was cool.
We play and review the builds regularly and call out action points in each level from start to finish and where we need to improve the gameplay.
Now, this was nice. For those of you who played Odyssey had a very similar mechanic with using a laser to open doors. The thing I like about this one, in Odyssey, they handheld you. They actually showed you where to do around the door. Here, it looked like they made it very intuitive. You could see where the metal was melting as they went around. And I like that better. I don't necessarily want that type of hand holding. I really want to be able to think about a puzzle when I get there. I got also a little bit fooled by this because I thought this was too easy to do until I saw them have to EVA, that they were EVAing through this.
I will say, Griff, I think the grenade did go off. It's just that, like, a lot of explosions. Like, I play Fallout 4 now just because like base building, and I noticed that like the explosions for grenades are like absolutely ridiculous, and like there's just a lot of more fire, and pretty fire. I'll say that. But usually it's just a little flash, and then a little puff of smoke, and then just shrapnel. So that's really all it should be, is what an HE high explosive grenade should be. And I think it went off.
You think it went off? Okay, because I saw him say grenade and he ran, and then he shot him while he was in the back while he was running away.
He was
but
running,
I didn't see anything.
I think it went off.
Okay.
This is an incredibly rewarding stage of
cool, 'cause you
development
got EVA,
for me
you
and the
couldn't run
team,
through here. I thought you
as
was
the
gonna
ultimate
run
vision
through
of the
here.
game is realized, allowing us to craft an experience that we can be really proud of.
That's neat.
One specific area that I'm excited to dial in is the feeling of the player interacting with the world around them,
Patching you in.
as it's a core component of Squadron and really grounds the world that you inhabit. We've made sure that any interaction in the environment is physically represented by a character animation to keep you in the moment and fully immerse you in the experience that we've created. Ultimately, this is the final phase of gameplay iteration before we fully transition into optimization and stability on the road to release.
What is that? Is that a ship?
That shit?
Agent Trejo,
Station?
this is Colton. Come back. Always trips me out to see terraforming setups like this. Web tried explaining how atmosphere processors work. Really shows how far we've come. What the hell is she?
Interesting. You guys see that? See all these in orbit around the planet?
Come. What the hell is she?
With the transition of Squadron to Polish phase, we've had the opportunity to find additional moments within the existing narrative to add subtle interactions where appropriate. It's been tremendously exciting to play through these areas and find places to augment the mood, support gameplay, and further embellish our story and characters.
So yeah, man, I can't believe it. They said I've got to wait another 2 years before I can reapply. So that's why I figured I'd get a job trying in security, because that's, you know, I can get some hours flying in the cockpit and whatnot. Can't hurt, right? Exactly.
We've also been capturing pickups for our lead female player character, as well as wildlines for our various enemies that you all will encounter throughout the game on both foot and in your cockpit. These consist of a range of responses and reactions that you as the player can trigger, which has been the culmination of efforts by the gameplay and AI teams.
Very nice.
This means you as the player can trigger, which has been the culmination of efforts a range of responses and reactions that you as the player can trigger, which has been the culmination of efforts by the gameplay and AI teams. This means that you're going to have to tangle with some
Looks like they're going to have a kick-butt female team.
These consist of a range of responses and reactions that you as the player can trigger, which has been the culmination of efforts by the gameplay and AI teams. This means that you're going to have to tangle with some very smart and reactive bad guys to complete your mission.
Check out that pirate mask. That's pretty cool. Those are new masks. This one especially in the middle, with the skull thing. All right, let's go back here. We saw these in the past. Look at the Cuddy design. It's got markings on it, graffiti, logos, different engines.
Question.
Yes.
Do you think that may be an example of a ship that we would make?
Nope, not this one, because this one, first of all, this is in Squadron. Secondly, these are pirates, NPC pirates, getting ready to do something. I don't know what. But remember how Pyro has all these same markings on the wall and stuff? This is one of the gangs, probably. Now, whether or not we'll be able to make something like this later, we could be, Pops, I don't know. I'm just saying because it's in Squadron, I don't want to mix Squadron up with the persistent universe. You know what I mean? Who knows what we'll be able to create there. But this is definitely somebody that they have an encounter with. This is one of the cinematics like I was talking about that happens in game. The scene, at least. Now, whether that's you or whether this is a cinematic that we watch of something that happens, we'll have to find out.
Now, this part I didn't understand. When all he has to do is step on a gas. I did not understand. But I get it. Maybe.
Yeah, like it's well, you know what it might be? I'm going to be honest with you. It's kind of weird. First of all, they're in an M50.
Yeah,
which is
and I
interesting.
thought about that too. Yeah, that was interesting.
I'm also trying to look at the environment. There's an asteroid belt back here in the back, but then there's a lot of debris and rubble. And I don't know if this is maybe a checkpoint that maybe you have to stop at. I don't know. Why would you get out? It's not like it's a police patrol, but for some reason, they're getting out with weapons. I don't know what the deal is with that. We'll have to find out.
At the heart of this immersive adventure, you'll find cutting-edge cinematic storytelling, thoughtfully crafted to fully immerse you into your story.
We fight today!
There's our guy.
So in 40 years...
They've definitely done an enhancement on him. Added some gray to his hair a little bit, cleaned up his beard, skin looks much better. They've smoothed out the tone a lot more. Uniform looks good.
Years from now, when you're surrounded by everything and everyone you hold dear, and they ask, what did you do in the Battle of Vega? You can look them in the eye and say, I held the line. Men and women of the Second Fleet, I am proud to stand with you today. Good luck. Push about.
Now, that line that he says, I held the line, was that something that was just recently added, or was that in the original?
Yeah. Back in 2017 or 2016, 2017, when we were, the tagline was answer the call. And so now they're showing us a little bit more because answer the call followed up after an attack that the Van Duel did. I don't know if you remember, there's a scene where Gary Oldman's got his coat and it's flowing and he walks out and you see all this stuff burning. You see a Valkyrie fly by. That was answer the call. It was in response to an attack by the Van Duel. That was just the thing that they used back then. And now the new motto has been, I held the line. Okay. It's marketing, and I'm sure there are going to be other speeches that Admiral Bishop does, but for right now, I held the line is the new one. Hence why you see it on the back of their t-shirts,
I just, I look at that from, the old Mass Effect thing from Captain Kirigi, I think his name was, and it was really a great speech back then, and I think it works in a little different way this time.
Yeah.
I do find it funny, though. He's like, yeah, good luck. It just, like, the end was kind of funny to me. So I'm like, yeah, you might make it, might not.
Well, he says he's with them. He says he's going to be on the ship with them, so I guess they all need to...
He won't be in the front, trust me.
Yeah, BBG, thanks for reminding us about that. Yeah, the shipjacker Cuddy. Yeah, it is in the Squadron 42 teaser that they did. They do show it there. Yeah, in fact, they show that in several. They show an Aurora variant and some other ones, too.
Nice speech. Any word from the recon team?
Not yet.
Well, let's get into position.
Yeah, he's sitting in the front. That is, man, you guys, that is a big freaking ship, man. Look at that thing. It's a monster. For all of you who say you want to find the bingo carrier and repair it and get one, have at it, Haas. That's all I got to say to you. Good luck.
Throughout the polish phase, our team is taking every opportunity.
John Rice Davies. A lot of people didn't, so many people who don't recognize him. I am so surprised. I saw John Rice Davies the very first time in a series that was called I, Claudius on the BBC. He was in there. Patrick Stewart was in there. There were tons of stars that were just getting started that were in that series. But of course, the other next time I saw him was in Raiders of the Lost Ark as Sala. And for those of you who are into your Hobbit stuff, you guys know him as Gimli. If you didn't know that, if you guys didn't catch that, that's who this is.
To push things to the next level.
Tell me you're expecting company.
This is not good.
The Cine team is focused on finalizing edit lock.
All right, let's break this down a little bit here because there was some cool breakdowns by Starjump Grim yesterday. Check out the patches here. All right. We've got this one here that says the 118th Fighting Squadron, the Hair Triggers. Then we've got Combat Veteran, UEE Navy. Can't read the one over here. This is the UESS Chimera. We saw the Chimera before. We heard reference to the Chimera before. He's got patches all over there.
Level.
Tell me you're expecting company.
This is not good.
The Cine team is
153rd Attack Squadron here.
Focused on finalizing edit lock on all of our big action as well as all smaller character sequences.
I could have pulled this off of the Galactopedia.
Here's the differences in our graph from last time. Remember this? Check this out.
Yeah, probably, but I think their solar mass calculations are wrong, though.
Which one do you think is better?
Well, this is ridiculous.
How so?
We are now able to adjust our shot composition to final cameras thanks to recently crafted space vistas.
I see pro and con on both sides. I do like the clothing better on the right. The facial, it might be just the lighting. Can't tell really.
Yeah, well, it's more shadow, better detailed shadow.
Yeah.
You definitely can see that.
Yep. Yeah. Definitely. But I mean, both of them look good, but I think I do like the one on the right maybe a little bit more.
A little more?
Yeah. Yeah, well, like someone said here, the one on the left doesn't look as plasticky, and agree, because you've got the shine and stuff, which is kind of what we see in a lot of animation. I like the detail better on the right. It's just that I would love to see a little bit more fill on her face on the right, because she seems to be washed out on the right side of her face on this one. But I definitely think I like the one on the right more.
And level art being content.
Same here. See the light here? Remember he was talking about lighting, global lighting? And this is way too much. The light is almost even across the face on the left. Here you've got more detail and shadow, you know?
Complete now.
It'd be nice to know how much of a shitstorm we're flying into.
More like a hellstorm, Blue. One you ain't gonna fly out of.
Shut up.
Now, I hadn't seen another ship that wasn't trying to kill me in days, let alone a hauler, let alone a Jean. So you can imagine my surprise.
Detail.
Those moist eyeballs look good, y'all. I don't care what anybody says.
Lighting passes can be done on hero sequences so we can show our...
Impressed by, more than anything, is around the neck. The collars, there's no clipping.
No clipping in here at all? Yeah.
None. I looked for it, and I couldn't find any clipping.
Yep. And here, look at the hair, the beard here. All looks really good. Looks nice and clean.
Our cast and convey their emotions in the best light possible. And we're making sure our cinematics are triggering as fluid as we can craft them so they form a coherent concerto with the rest of the player's narrative experience.
That's what we're talking about.
Mr. Wakefield, this is Lieutenant Commander Colton.
Oh, Commander, hey. Julian Wexler, I'm the field manager of this little operation. Welcome aboard the Archon. What brings the Navy to this little corner of the universe?
We got you flying with Lieutenant Commander Colton. He's one of our best.
As others will share, this is the most rewarding chapter of development, which allows us to truly experience the visceral and oftentimes emotional moments that our narrative provides.
How did you handle it after Vega?
I'm not sure I handled anything. It helps to remember that stuff like this is supposed to hurt.
I've never been good at dealing with problems I can't fix.
Well, this is one that you don't have to do alone.
That's good to know.
Looks good.
For the animation teams, polish phase means refining the social aspects of Squadron 42 that occur between the various missions and getting the behaviors implemented across all of its chapters. Here we're dialing in the hangar to make it as immersive and believable an experience as possible.
That'll do it. Done. Okay, all right.
Report to briefing room. There's an Argo coming in.
Let's do this. I have to switch out some of the interchange on the next deck. We're getting over here.
Griff, I don't know if you, when he's pulling that cable, yeah, in most games, you normally see clipping when that happens. The cable starts going in through the floor. I am most impressed by
just unfolds out nice and smooth.
Yeah, it just looks. I mean, it looks like it should.
Yep. So all these actions happen after you land. That's your ship, and they start doing maintenance and stuff, which is pretty neat.
Anyway.
For example, we're launching off a space carrier, but we still ground the feel in real-world actions, refueling, repairing, and inspecting, and making sure that your next flight mission is a success. This means we're looking out for pops, hiccups, or awkward transitions, and ensuring that everything flows and looks like all the great mocap performances we've captured.
Let's ready some extra ice packs out of storage. Whenever gunners are on full rotation, you can always count on at least one of them getting hurt.
We also have you covered in everyday life. The medical staff work diligently for their patients, whether they're players or crew.
And there is
we really want you
no floating in their animation. When they pick up something, it looks like they're holding it. It's not like it's in the hand and the bottle is, kind of floating in their hand. It actually looks like they actually picked it up.
Yep.
You to feel part of an authentic crew, an important part of the UEE Navy in an enormous universe of people going about their everyday lives.
Let's go ahead and clear for takeoff.
Check out the animations that are happening around the aircraft of the different crew and stuff while you're doing your sequence. They kind of respond to what you do.
Ground crew, prep bay for takeoff.
Copy that.
Hangar, ready for launch. Takeoff approved, Baron 2. You have the ball.
Ready and hold on as you're launched off the deck of the carrier.
Baron 2, you are cleared for launch. Have a safe flight, Baron
2. We want you to not only decide how you play the game, but to feel as if the people you interact with are in that world with you.
This is definitely an enhancement. If you guys remember back from the vertical slice, this was a much smaller, less detailed room, and they've obviously enhanced it. Before there was just the gun rack on the right, and they had the table there on the left, and he brought the guns and set them in front of you. But that whole wall on the left side, the white wall with the guns on it, wasn't in the previous one.
I would have never thought a shotgun could be so pretty. Damn, this R97 is sleek as hell. Like a lot of other weapons in Gemini's arsenal, it has a higher rate of fire than most guns of its type.
Way more elaborate animation.
We're working to support a feel of authenticity through world traversals, running, jumping, and climbing, interactions with objects and the environment, solid weapon gameplay and enemy reactions, as well as combat realities, such as weapon malfunctions. Or in close encounters of the more lethal kind. Ooh, that's gonna hurt in the morning.
This I loved. First of all, weapons jamming. We know we've been looking forward to seeing that happen. Way back when we saw the, I hate to even go say the word. Back in 2016, we saw the sandworm was the first time we saw being able to sneak up behind somebody and attack them and take them out. But we've seen this become much more detailed, much more involved now. And then this, of course, I think this is really nice and creepy. God only knows what's in the water.
As we continue to focus on...
One of the things that they did say, you will get better at that hand-to-hand combat as you do it more. So I'm just wondering if there's a place that we can go to, like in a gym, and do that with each other.
Whether that'll be in Squadron, I don't know. I know it'll be in the PTU. I'm not sure about the Squadron, but we'll have to see. A good question.
The quality experience, we've been working closely with our art teams, and it's been exciting to see their environments come to life alongside us.
While animation and design have been populating the locations, polish phase for my teams means making huge advancements in the quality of our characters and environments. We've established our standard with recognisable characters like Mark Hamill, Gillian Anderson and Gary Oldman, and we're now applying this to the rest of the cast and identifying any remaining tech requirements that need to be closed out. The story of Squadron 42 takes you through a variety of diverse locations of varying scales and styles. We shared glimpses of several environments before, and there's still plenty out there for you to discover.
I'm gonna go back a second.
For you to discover. Glimpses of several environments before.
Trying to see what this is. This looks like that shot that we saw where the Van Duel were before, but I don't know.
We shared glimpses of several environments before. And there's still plenty out there for you to discover. One of the main challenges the art team has had to face during the development of Squadron 42 is ensuring the visuals are complementary to the narrative of the script. The mood and feeling of a space.
What the heck is that? Huh.
Is just as important to us as it is making sure we hit the visual quality that CIG has become known for.
Oh good, we can't hack it from this side. Graves, we got a locked door. Can you give us access?
No, I'm afraid that's a negative, Steve. I would have to add you to our system to give you override permissions, and there's a lot involved in that. It won't happen quickly.
Okay, we'll figure something out.
Everything you see during the campaign has been heavily inspired by the classics of 70s and 80s sci-fi, but with a modern twist. We want everything you see to feel like it has a soul, its own personality, and tells of a history long before you arrived.
One of the things I'm looking forward to is there's so much stuff here that we've never seen in game. Everything from ships to environments, and it's sometimes easy to we sometimes judge Star Citizen's progress upon what we have in our hands versus what we haven't seen yet. And so when we think about 8 to 10 years of working on things, developing tools, crafting, there's so much stuff that these folks are probably going to unveil to us both in the PU and in Squadron that will kind of really show where the work and all the time has gone. Hopefully that'll be what the end result will be.
Crafting interesting flight spaces and their connecting tissue has been one of the more unique challenges we've needed to overcome for Squadron. Developing our VDB tech to blend seamlessly between tighter traversal spaces and into wider space vistas and planets has proved incredibly difficult but rewarding, ensuring that Squadron flows seamlessly from one chapter to the next, without interruption. Creating a diverse array of locations is essential to us. Our environments need to work from a variety of scales. We need to pay close attention to detail, whether we're working in a dirty engineering vent or navigating the debris of a dying star, wondering what may be around that next corner, or even who may live there, how would they have survived, and what state of mind may they be in.
We've been waiting for these, the holo tables. Some ships have these, some don't. These are purchasable though. You can buy them. So my question will be whether you're buying upgrades or actually buying and installing these into ships. And since CIG introduced this whole thing of crafting, I am curious to note whether or not these will be things that maybe when CIG, God only knows when this will happen, if they allow us to craft our own ships, whether that's why you'll be able to purchase items like this to place them in your ship.
We've worked closely with our social teams in delivering a cohesive social experience when you're taking some downtime from our refined flight and FPS missions, or even missions of the more eerie kind. We'll be introducing
Okay, this is where we see another ship again.
new space stations on a massive scale.
Okay, over here on the right, this is the ship that we were talking about, that Grim was talking about, that we're wondering whether this is another consolidated Outland ship.
We'll be introducing new space stations on a massive...
This here, there is the con deck is up top. They're going to show another angle of it in a little bit. There's another ship here, but this is a space station.
Scale, all brought together and designed to be as tangible as possible. We thought about...
There it is there. See it?
Their function,
see it pulling
their
in,
age.
Pulling out here. And Grim went in and showed us that these ridges here are on the Pioneer as well, which is why he thinks it may be another consolidated Outland
Try
ship.
to ensure that...
And when you fly over it, you can
progression
see
in art.
It's like a... We can't tell what this is completely. Whether it's like a transport, like it's some type of consolidated Outland transport ship. There's the conning tower on the right. Control room. But I don't know, what do you guys think?
Progression in art.
Cargo. It could be fuel.
Thought about their...
Could be fuel.
Yeah, I mean, if it is, it's a transport. Maybe I shouldn't say cargo.
Yeah.
It's some form of transport is what I meant to say.
Function.
But that ship's moving.
Their age, and try to ensure there's a progression in artistic style with each station as you progress through the game.
They have escalators in the future. Big biddies.
As you can see today, the teams are working incredibly hard, ramping up the detail and quality to match the breadth of our vision for Squadron.
There it is again.
42.
Now, I know you're all asking, when can I play it?
When can I play it?
When we have the locked release date, you will be the first to know. Now, we're in polishing phase on Squadron 42. You will start to see a lot more things coming to Star Citizen, as well as overall progress on the persistent universe. The polish phase can take some time. We have come this far, and we want to make sure Squadron 42 delivers on the promise of being this generation's wing commander. Now, even though there's only a few of us in this video, I'd like to extend a big thank you to all our staff around the globe who have been putting their heart and soul into bringing Squadron 42 to life. And I would like to thank everyone in the community for your patience and your support. To paraphrase Admiral Bishop, when people ask, what did you do in the development of Squadron 42? You can look them in the eye and say, I held the line. I'm proud to stand with you. Thank you for making this game with us. I'm proud to stand with you. Thank you for making this game with us.
I want to see something here. Is that their way of boring into something?
Yeah, that's a ship.
Are they cutting into a ship or something, breaking in?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. Because it's not just the door, it's like it's cutting through.
The spikes, the way the spikes opened up too, pretty cool. From the other, from their ship coming in.
Spikes.
Okay. The opening. See,
oh, that's the door. No, that's the door
right,
opening.
The door. The way that door.
Yeah, but I was wondering if that's them boring, like if they're doing what's the word I'm trying to? It's like you're trying to board a ship or something, or because this whole thing looks alien. See the interior of this looks alien, and I'm wondering whether this is like when they're coming into something. I don't know. It's hard because looks like there's entrance pads here on the left and right. I'm speculating at this point. I'm just curious. They're big. Boy, those things are big. They've definitely enhanced them.
Mm-hmm. In their face. I kind of
it might be just that particular shot, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Good stuff there. Good stuff. Admiral, let me ask you, have you been a PU person or a Squadron 42 person or a 50-50 person?
I think I fund the game like I'm a PU person, but I've been looking forward to the Squadron 42 for some time, actually.
Okay. Pops, what about you?
50-50.
50-50. Yeah, I started out PU, and then when we saw the vertical slice, it got me interested more in Squadron. I said, yeah, I'll probably play it. You know, I'll play it. And now I'm a little more PU still. I want to say I'm 60-40. And I think that's only because of the fact that the two are supposedly intertwined together. You know, they're connected. They're not separate, even though they're separate standalone and PU. But the fact that they are tied together makes me interested in definitely experiencing it, especially the depth that they've shown. So I'm excited for it. There's been a lot of speculation, especially after earlier this year when they pulled Squadron from the store. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think Squadron is going to come back at its retail price next time we see it?
No.
What do you think, Admiral?
$100.
No, don't give me a price. I'm asking, do you think it's going to come back at its retail price? Before it was $20. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think it's going to come back full price at $100.
At retail. So you're saying retail? You think it's going to cost $100?
I mean, it's $100 retail. I mean, right now you could buy games. I mean, 2 years ago you could buy, a game for $70.
I don't know if it's going to be. That's a lot of money, Admiral. $100.
But I think for the basic, I just I look at what they're giving us. I don't understand. Are they going to give us? I mean, what's the value of $1 today in terms of developing this game?
Well,
yes, we're crowdfunding it, and they're using our funds to make it.
Yeah.
55 fast card. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no. I'm basing it on how much games have gone up. They have to remain competitive, and they want people entered into the game. You got to remember, a lot of people don't know what Squadron is, and so let's use the average. That the average the last 4 years has been $49 to $59. And then just recently, we've been having games breaking the $69 range for premium AAA games. I'm going to put my entry point for the base. Let's say there's a base game, Admiral. You know what I mean? Just like basic. I'm going to say $59.95 base.
Do you think $60
for the base game? With no premiums, and the reason why I'm going to tell you that is this: I could be wrong because they are moving up to $69, but not now. Let me say this. Let me rephrase it. If it's within the next year, let's say that if it's by the end of 2024, it releases $59 to $69 at the most.
I paid $70 2 years ago
for what?
For Fallen Order.
Yeah, for Fallen Order. Yeah, but that's a Star Wars franchise that's established, and they could ask for that money because people will pay for it for Star Wars, and people did pay for it. But people paid $69 for the base for Starfield. People paid $99 just to get the DLC, and they paid $300 for the collector's edition.
Well, you know what I think about Starfield, and I think it looks like.
I'm just saying
people crap.
But my point is, think about the marketing dynamic of the anticipation of people waiting for Starfield from Bethesda. You have way more people, I hate to say this, way more people waiting for Starfield than you have waiting for Star Citizen. Guaranteed that. Because Bethesda's franchise of games is much broader than Star Citizen. There are people who didn't even know Squadron 42 existed until last week. They have no clue. All they've heard is Star Citizen. So you've got to get people sold on the idea of Squadron 42 and that it is totally separate from all the bad media and PR and propaganda from the persistent universe.
There's a misconception in business where companies try to give people everything for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, if I cut my prices, I get more customers and blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're missing out on the people who like don't see it as a premium product because of that.
Right.
If we call it a premium product, then it should be priced accordingly.
Who's calling it a premium product? You?
I don't know. Is this not a AAA game? Is this not like the best AAA game in the recent history?
To your logic, was Starfield a premium product?
No.
Why not? It was a AAA game
Doesn't
made by a
look like
AAA
it.
company.
Nah, it's the engine. The engine is old. The engine is.
But listen, by today's standard, it would have been considered a premium product. It would have been.
I agree with Admiral, and sometimes I know they've done this in the basketball industry, and in the baseball sports altogether. You pay a person an enormous amount of money, and people want to flock to see if it's worth it. Is he worth that $150 million contract? So they're willing to pay a little bit more to sit in those seats because they want to see, they want to be there. And I think he can do that for Squadron 42.
I think you guys are speaking from people who have a heart for the game and not from the outside.
No, I'm not.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think no player's worth $150 million in a game. Personally.
Me either.
No, I don't believe that either. But I also think that if you're trying to get people that actually, this isn't a console game, so put console prices on the table doesn't make any sense to me.
Well,
I feel that if you have a premium price and even up to 120 for the base level, I'm saying that people be like, holy crap, why is this so much money? And then like, is my rig able to play this thing? I think that draw would get a lot of people to play it.
Exactly.
And that's assuming, and I'm going to say this to be keeping it real, that's assuming the game is good.
Yeah. My
this
price range.
This is what I'm saying, Pops. That's assuming the game is good. All you've seen is a beautiful presentation. None of us know if the game is going to be good.
We know.
No.
On the inside. On the inside.
Yeah, you're speaking from the inside. But
on the inside.
But here's the deal. Here's the deal. All of you guys have the game. I'm talking about people on the outside who know nothing about it.
I do not have
Kai's joining us.
Can I suggest a possibly different viewpoint?
Okay.
$200.
So, I think the game will probably end up being put up for the final price. When it does come back.
Mm-hmm.
I think you won't see the game put back until they have a locked-in date for sales because of the problems with trying to sell a product without a date in Europe.
No. I agree. That's the price we're talking about.
No. I know that. But so I think that the price that you're going to see it come up for is in the range of what you said, Griff, in the $55 to $60 range. And here's why. For exactly the reason that you said, that the people that are already super fanboys are yes, for sure they're in. And I think that I could see Chris Roberts and CIG making a smart strategic move and having Volume 1 out there for $55 or $60, $65 in that range, for the purpose of reigniting all of the talk of hey, this is the wing commander for a new 30-year, for a new generation.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Admiral Kusanagi is absolutely right in that if it becomes the premium product that I think we will maybe quite possibly see, I think Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, you might see, like Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, you might see all of a sudden with like premium collector editions that come with extra artwork and all of the other wet dream bullshit for the collectors. And those you might see easily sell for 100, 200, 300, where it's like the Starfield shit of like, oh, this gives you a special little watch and another thing and another thing and a little t-shirt that says I held the line. But I think that it would be very smart of CIG to make the entry product to this, the thing that is first, it's like a drug dealer. The first taste is half price or whatever, so that you, number one, get as maximum amount of exposure and saturation within the market as possible. And number two, if you put your initial offering up there before you've proven yourself at $100, at $120, at whatever, you are inviting people to shit on you, like to like watch everything with such a negative, uncharitable eye, because they say, well, if you're gonna call yourself caviar from jump, I'm gonna go ahead and call bullshit if I'm tasting chicken nuggets.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, so I think the initial one, we'll see cheap, we'll see it whatever, and then the future ones, if it catches on, and I agree with you, what we've seen looks cool, but it's a sandbox. Honestly, what's gonna make, like, what we saw there doesn't guarantee a good game. What we saw there guarantees a spectacle. Whether or not the game is good or not will rely 100% on what's the story. The story, and we won't know until we actually see it. My fingers are crossed. Based on Wing Commander, based on some other stuff, and based on how big this project is, I feel very confident that they will get in good writers. They will have a good story. I think it will be great. But you're absolutely right, Griff. Until we see it, you can't. People are, I feel like from this CitizenCon, people are quite rightly enthused and happy and psyched, and all of that's great. But there's some people that are already taking a victory lap, and it's like, yo, bro, nah, chill. Don't, because you also, at the same time, there's this phenomenon of, if I tell you, Griff, you got to see this movie. This is the greatest movie in the history of all time. You got to see this movie. I saw this movie 19 times. It's the greatest. You put these expectations up there, and then you see the movie and it's pretty good, and you go, yeah, you know,
it was okay.
It was okay, but you built it up too high. I think everybody needs to just chill. Let them do what they're doing. Let it come out. Enjoy the secret sauce, and then you can. Because if I tell you, hey, check out this movie, it's pretty good, and you go there and you really like it, now you give it a 11 out of 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And to your point, even Chris Roberts, you know, when they closed out this, they didn't say, if you notice, he didn't go into the whole, this will be the best damn space, whatever, or anything. He didn't. What Chris has been doing, to Admiral's point, and Admiral, I don't want to dismiss what you're saying, because I personally agree with, I wish it was that way, because I think it's going to be worth it. Like Kai said, I think that it will be the game that'll be okay. The problem is that there's a huge demographic of people that have to be convinced of that. And even if they see this presentation, so many people who've been responding to these videos are responding to the visuals of what they're seeing. You hear everybody say, that looks cool. Wow, that looks amazing. Wow, that looks. But the gameplay, the mechanics, is it going to be too much for gamers? Is it going to be exactly what gamers want? Are gamers going to overhype it? Particularly our own community, because we'd been anticipating it for so long. See, this is kind of like, it's like Star Wars. If you're a Star Wars fan, even when it's a crappy Star Wars movie, you can go and enjoy it. You know, you'll stand in line. You know what I mean? Even if people say, you know, episode 7's horrible, we'll still go see it. We'll still. And
if I can point out, if I can point one last thing, how you were just saying how it looks great. Keep in mind, remember 2 months before Starfield was released, when they were playing those trailers and everybody was like, Star Citizen's dead, this is the second guy. It's like, you could show a lot of shit in a trailer, you still got to come correct with the final, you know, that sandwich has to be right. You can't just the sampler, what it looks like on the billboard. You got to actually get it in your hands and taste it.
Yeah.
Now, BBG, BBG's, you know, he's saying like, you know, Forspoken is still $70. And it's a piece of crap game. You know, I'm looking at, you know, when you look at inflation, I like to bring up this stuff a lot. You know, I have a business background, and it's like $60 in 2017 is worth $75 today. And if SIG on their back end is having to spend that money on stuff, and needs to keep the lights on, then they need to be pulling in money to be able to pay for that stuff, so they can develop stuff in the future, not just for the PU, but for Squadron 42 Part 2 and 3. So
I'd agree.
Automatically, they should have to be paying asking for at least $75, and I think that's where the premium comes in at $100, because I think it is a good product. Okay. And I don't think no, I think it's a premium product. I think they're delivering me a Mercedes-Benz. I think that the name implies that the quality, the markmanship that went into that, that it's that price. I don't get to drive it for like 2 months and then be like, hey, you know what? I think the future cars should be maybe a little bit more expensive.
Right.
Like the product is already there. They're showcasing the engine, the Star engine. They're showing the capabilities of their engine and where we're going. So I think them showing us this stuff is the reason they can charge a premium price. If they didn't show us jack,
I'm going to use the
Then no.
Admiral, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
I'm
go
going to
ahead.
use the jeans, and I'm sure Griff, you remember back in those days when we had Sassoon, Jordan. The material was the same material. You paid for the name on the back of your butt.
Okay, you get Brooke Shields to wear Squadron 42, and then let's talk.
You know what I'm saying? So, if you know what did the jeans were what back then?
Yeah, I mean Levi's, everything. I get what you're saying. I get it. And listen, I want to say this very clearly. Admiral, I agree with you about the value. I think that we, for those of us who've been on the inside, and when we see the trailer, we see a tremendous amount of work, and we even get what it took to put that on screen. We like this thing we just watched now. We see all that work. The regular consumer who doesn't know about Star Citizen is not going to see this trailer. They're not going to see the labor, the work. There are people, like I said, who don't even know that Squadron exists. It will be a brand new thing for them. They're not going to know about the 10 years of development. They're not going to know any of that. All they're going to know is there's a new space game out that everybody's talking about. So again, I put my price within a year's frame from now. I'm just saying by next year, I will go. I'm even willing to go with you, Admiral. I'm still saying 59 at the low end. And I don't know how many games are going to push past the $70 mark for a basic entry of the game. Now, I think Squadron is going to do something that Kai said, or that RSI is going to do something. I think that what they may do, I don't know if they're going to do like that, standard deluxe premium platinum stuff, but I do think that they are going to do some type of premium and base. Basic will be maybe $59 to $69 because $69 is what things are creeping up to right now, whether that's Cyberpunk or Starfield or whatever. Because I think Cyberpunk was $59. I don't think it was $69. But I think that if there's nothing else major coming out, they could creep to $69 and be okay and sell a ton of those. And then after that, if they decide to do some type of premium that has like a graphic and some type of weird plastic souvenir or something else that celebrates the launch of Squadron 42, they could ask for $99. I think that's going to be. I think that's going to be the range for me. I'd be satisfied with that. Go ahead, Kai. What were you going to say?
Here's what they're going to do. The box set, the special collector set, you know how the F8 is like the big, here's the keys to the Ferrari because you're the ace, you got to the top. Every one of the games, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, is going to have some new Top Gun shit that's the top one. And is going to be a great little die-cast model, whatever, however like they do those, of that ship on a stand looking like sex on a stick. And that's going to be where your extra $80
comes
goes.
From
that and a nice CD or soundtrack thing or whatever. Like even though nobody uses CDs no more.
Yeah, but the soundtrack or USB, something like that. That would be kind of
an
cool.
art book.
Yep. Let me give some shout backs to Tal. Thank you for the follow. PGR TV, thank you for the follow as well. And Tello, thank you for the sub. Really appreciate you guys. We're just kind of hammering away here, guys. Just kind of curious of what people think. Go ahead, Admiral.
I just want to say, there's a lot of name dropping here, and that cost. I mean, I feel like that the level of quality and actors that they have, really helps to up the level for me.
Could be.
It's like what's going to drive me to the movie theater. Maybe not Mark Strong, but I mean, I'll sure as hell go see Gary Oldman or a Mark Hamill movie.
Yeah. What did Cyberpunk go for when it came out? Does anybody remember? Was it 59? Because they had Keanu. They were doing a big push with Keanu for that.
Yeah, I was just looking at it. It was like $60.
Was it $60?
Yeah, $60.
Okay. Yeah. So and I get it, Admiral. But think of it this way: all that stuff's been paid for already. That we've paid for Jillian and Oldman and all that stuff. That's done. There has to be an introduction of this game to a broader community. I mean, let's take into the reality of. Does anybody remember what the numbers were for Starfield? They had something like 100 million people play it, 10 million. What was it? Some crazy number of people that have bought and played Starfield. A lot of money generated. And if Star Citizen does even that much, if they do that much, they'll have plenty of money at that point to continue for the following episodes. Go ahead, Kai.
There could also be some calculation going on the back end on CIG's part. These guys are crafty. They're not dumb.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's a certain amount of like, hey, mom, I want this game. Okay, Johnny, what is it? It's called Squadron, whatever. Mm-hmm. And you get the 12-year-old, right, that's trying to sell mom on, I want this game. And you know, he buys it. Mom gets it for him because it's $50, $60, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that 12-year-old goes on to play Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5. Next thing you know, you're talking that 12-year-old's a 22-year-old.
Yeah.
He's got a couple dollars in his pocket, and the real moneymaker is going to be Star Citizen. The real moneymaker is the MMO. The real moneymaker is where people are buying $800 ships and this, that, and the other. And I know they say, oh, we're not going to sell ships anymore. Yeah, okay, cool. You go ahead and believe that. That's the moneymaker.
Well,
so for me,
go ahead.
For me, the place where they get you, like I said again, it's like a drug dealer, but like not in a bad way. It's like there's that's how Amazon became the biggest store in the face of the planet, was loss leaders. They would give you stuff for basically, they would lose money on certain deals to build up the brand. And I think the more people that you on-ramp through Squadron, the bigger you're going to have the subsequent follow-ons on Squadron, and more importantly, Star Citizen, which is going to be the big money maker, in my opinion.
Well, I'm gonna add this to it. I think what's going to really can add to the price of this game, Squadron 42, is how the game ends. Because you're going to have those people that are going to pick up Squadron 42, and they're going to take the next 12 hours and they're going to play that game from beginning to end to try to end it. If CIG can figure out a way, or have already figured out a way, to make the endings different, that it's not a vanilla ending.
Right. They said that there will be multiple endings. Yeah, there are multiple endings in the game. You can play it differently. It has replayability, I should say.
Right. Replayability. And that person can't go on YouTube and show you every little shortcut that's there. That, to me, will add to the price if they can do that to the game.
I think replayability is always a good thing. But look at Starfield. Starfield has a main story, but it's got plenty of side stories that people are able to play, that have put in already hundreds of hours of playing the game, and they're enjoying doing it. Let me go back to something Kai said a second ago. I'm going to wrap up in a second here, guys, because I'm already past my time. But Kai mentions a good point. There is this fact that Squadron 42, though a lot of us know about the persistent universe, there are a lot of people who don't play that. But if this game is successful, just even if it's moderately successful, I mean, in other words, people enjoy it, it's great. There will be people that will be getting introduced to the persistent universe while we're waiting on Chapter 2. Now, I just did a quick breakdown on the numbers, and Kai was talking about if they sold more ships. But let's assume that CIG doesn't sell more ships. Let's just say that they do keep it at the thing of starter packages. If they do 10 million of those, that's $500 million in 1 year. That's the same amount of money that it took them to make for 10 years in 1 year. So the amount of revenue that's being driven at that point, and that doesn't go, like Kai said, to all the other weird incidentals and skins and all the other weird stuff that they could push out of the store, but they could make $500 million in their first year, which would be more than enough money to help them project into doing the next chapter, probably chapters 2 and 3, because so much of the tech, studio building, and everything else is already done and in place. So I think that they're going to be okay, no matter which way it goes. I think if they sell the game for $99, that's going to be for the people like me. No, not me, because I own it already. But if I would, somebody who knows what this thing is and wants the delivery of a really, really good game, I just don't see that price happening in the industry over the next couple years. I think that $79 is going to hold for a while. Plus the economy is kind of funny. I mean, people will pay what they want to pay. But $79 to me is a push. I can't pay that much money for a game, and I'm a gamer. I don't want to pay that much money for anybody's game right now. Especially to your point, Pops, if it's something I'm going to play one time, or I can play it in 2 weeks and it's done. I don't want to pay that type of money for a game. And I'm not sure how many people are convinced that Squadron 42, which again, I have to say, watching, what's the guy's name? Asmongold. And there are people who don't even know what Squadron is. Like, what game is this? What game is this? And if you come out with too high of a price, I agree with Kai, it could backfire. Because there's already salt, and you're going to have salty folks out there. Even if this game is amazing, there are going to be people who are going to say, look how much they're squeezing you for money again. They've been squeezing people the last 11 years. Now when the game finally comes out, they want to squeeze them some more. I can hear that freaking crap already. I'm not saying be afraid, but you have to be willing to understand that there's both sides. I'm not saying, listen, their marketing people still have to be smart. And they can't cater to what we as the fans want. They've got to make sure that they get as many units out and build an audience of people who are interested in this game. And it's not us, because we're in it. We're the Star Wars fans. We're the people who are in this for the ride. We've been in here long enough that even if the game's crappy, we're going to play it. We're going to play it. They've also got to look at, for the longevity and being able to sustain CIG and other projects, how do we get more people in and not compromise, the vision of what Chris wants? And that's all I'm saying. I don't know what that dollar's going to be. I agree. Somewhere between 59 and 99. Let's. I
have one story. So it's a quick story. I used to work at a bike shop. I used to sell like Treks, Specialized, all that stuff. And we had one guy. He came in, and the story was I can't remember if I didn't deal with him. I just know that he came back. He got a flat tire. He went on the ride, got a flat tire, and we didn't sell him a kit to fix his flat tire. So he was like stranded on the side of the road. And so, like, he didn't have the right equipment to use that bike the way it was supposed to be ridden. And if people don't know, and I know they're working the CPUs and the GPUs to not be so crazy. They don't need 4070s, 49s, and stuff like that. But I feel that if you can only afford $50, I don't know. I have really big concerns with someone trying to push their rig. And a mediocre rig to see whatever they're going to give us. I just have concerns with that. And if you can't afford, if you can only afford a $50 game, then it's hard for you. If you might need the extra 32 gigs of RAM. Is what I'm saying. So I don't know.
I would counter.
To add to
and especially if you're going to take that and go to the PU, because the PU is where everything it really gets crazy.
Yeah, but
I think the RPG is less resources.
Hold on. Too many people talking at one time. Finish up, Admiral. Finish up.
I'm just saying, the PU is more resource intensive, and of course the RPG won't be. But I'm just saying that's kind of
right. But listen, I want to keep it with Squadron. But I get what you're saying. But let's keep it with Squadron. Because Squadron's going to have its requirements too. It will have its requirements. Yeah, go ahead, Pops. What were you going to say?
I think real quick for me, I think it will depend on the time of year that the game, because if the game comes out close to Christmas time, you'll be willing to pay an extra $5, $6, $7, $8 for that Christmas time.
You think so? Okay.
I think so.
Guy, go ahead and I'm gonna wrap up after you.
I would just counter the point about the price. Whether it costs $50 or $100 has absolutely nothing to do with what your system can handle. That is on the company when they release the product to give very clear minimum and recommended specifications for your rig. You can have people, I've known rich people, I've known super rich people that have a very fancy car and then they buy the cheapest gasoline. Like, one doesn't have anything to do with the other. That's you're talking about two very different issues that you have to address separately.
Well, let's talk about what happened with Starfield, because this bit Starfield in the butt. Starfield came out, and then there were people who complained about the performance, and then afterward, Todd Howard said, well, this game is the next generation thing, and you basically need to upgrade your computer. But he said it afterward, and that wasn't good. If that was the case beforehand, he could have made it clear. Now, CIG in its early days did make it clear that this game was going to be very demanding. But then over the years, they've also made it clear that they want the game to be able to run on people who have a fairly decent system. Not lowballing, can't have 8 meg of RAM. But they did say, we want this game to be a game that people with a good computer, you don't have to have a 4090. I play with a 2080. Not even a TI. I play with a 2080 Super. I've got 64 meg of RAM. I've got a 3950 and my game runs good. It's not running at 80 frames a second. I might get 40 frames, but it runs fine for me. And so I think that they are trying to make this game not a high-end performance game. I'm talking about for Squadron now. For Squadron, because that would not be a good thing unless they brace, like Kai said, they make it very clear to people that this game is going to be very demanding on your rig. But Todd Howard and them messed up on that. He came out afterward and made that statement. It pissed a lot of people off. It's like, well, you bought my game. Now go upgrade your computer so you can play it. That's not good. It's not good at all. Okay. All right, listen.
Strong agree.
Yeah, I'm going to wrap it up. I thank you very much, Admiral Kusanagi, for coming in, Pops, for Kai. Thank all of you who watched today. Thank you guys for all the wonderful chat and comments you guys made. This was really a lot of fun going over Squadron 42. Again, I do want to emphasize, Kai mentioned something very important earlier. Keep your expectations in a good place. We saw a lot of good stuff last weekend. I mean, a lot of good stuff last weekend. And it's very difficult not to get excited over what we saw, because we saw some things that we've been kind of looking forward to seeing. And then we saw some stuff we never expected to see, which was even more impressive to me. But let's just remember to continue to hold CIG accountable for doing good stuff.
How did you get in?
Montoya's talking there. Let's make sure that we hold them accountable, but also celebrate them for their successes, because they really do appreciate hearing from us, both the criticisms and the suggestions to help make things better, because this is a community project, but it's Chris Roberts' project in the long run. So please, 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 watch your wallets. Watch your wallets, especially as we approach ISC. Right? No, IAE. Pops, I'm getting ready to wrap it up. Nope.
I got an email. I just want to say, I got an email.
Oh, you got an email. Okay, great. Oh, okay. We're not just you. Okay, so what Pops is telling you guys is check and see if your emails came out. Because we said by the time the show wrapped up that the emails, which was 2:00. So if you got an email, congratulations. If you didn't get one, don't worry. It's going to cycle around to everybody. Everybody's going to get to go into Pyro. Don't get mad saying I spent $200 on this game and I come out and get my email. If you got one, congratulations. If you didn't, don't worry. It's coming. And besides, don't forget, it's supposed to be very rough in the state that it's in right now. So if you get in there, don't get upset if you get if you get kicked out very quickly, okay? Just enjoy it for what it is, all right? Thanks again, Jay. Thanks for being a resource as always out there for me. Fast Card, thanks for being here as well. Everybody else who was here, I saw you, CC, come in. Thanks for following. Good to see you. Astro, what's up? Astro Nesto, get in touch with me. You're supposed to be getting you on the show, okay? And I got some spots. We were reviewing CitizenCon for this month, and I would love to have you on during the month of November. So please, please, please reach out to me, okay? And let's get connected. Okay, you guys have a great day today. Gonna send you over to Montoya, my good buddy over at Test Squadron. As always, you guys stay safe. Peace, love, and soul. Enjoy your day. Ciao.